Good afternoon. Today was not the day that I wanted it to be. And that is, that is how life happens, obviously, sometimes as an adult, or in this world in general. You have a day planned that you think is going to go a certain way. So today, it is March 2nd. I had certain goals set for the month of March, and I am a very black and white, all or nothing person at times. And so if I wanted to, do something every day in March, and then I missed like March 2nd, I would be devastated. So today started out with, I got a message I woke up, first of all, with feeling good about stuff. I had a lot of really positive messages on my OF. People liked the video that I did, and they were there for it. They were excited about it, and they were, responding to it really well and tipping on it, and it was, it was a good day. And so I was excited about that. And then I got a message from my sister, who was at my dad's house. And she said, and if you guys have followed me at all, my dad has dementia, but he's able to stay at home and care for himself. And then it's pretty much just like he will forget things like, what month it is or who's president or whatever. But he knows, like, safety-wise, he can go out and shovel the driveway. He can, walk the dog and feed the dog, and we help him with food and things like that. We do the grocery shopping. He doesn't drive. And so he knows who we are. He knows who my kids are, everything. Today, I got a message from my sister that he was asking her who her mother was. Which, if you follow that through, I don't think he knew who she was. She had stayed the night there, her and her husband, and they had made him breakfast and had gotten his groceries. And they were kind of, going over stuff for the week and making him sandwiches for the week and things like that. And he was confused about a few things, as he often is, and then asked her who her mother was, which then she texted me, he just asked me who my mother was. I said, does he know who you are? She's like, I don't know. He's talking about his mother. He's talking about his sister. He seemed to be confusing details of his life with his brother's life as well, which were kind of weird. And because there were some weird details about his brother's wedding, and he kind of seemed to be confusing that with his own, like things that had happened, like where and things like that. Where they got married and things like that. And we've just kind of been having like this rough patch lately, like an ongoing thing where he's forgetting certain things. He, at one point a few days ago, thought my mother had like faked her death and was hiding. Things like that, like soap opera kind of stuff. And it's hard because when you have a loved one with dementia, you kind of go along with it. It's easier to do what they call positive lying. So, like one day my daughter and I were there, and he was looking for his mother, who had passed away in the 80s. And I said, I thought she was still at work. And he said, wow, she's working late today. And I said, yep. And then he was moving on to the next subject and talking to my daughter about her car and her job, and everything was fine. Like, he was all up to date at that point, but in his mind, his mother was still alive. So it's hard. And so the positive lying, as they call it, helps to, you can move on to the next subject easily. But if you had to explain that his mother had died, he'd want to know how she died. He'd want to know if he went to the funeral. He'd want to know if, like does his sister know? And it would turn into this whole thing. So it's easier to just say, like, yeah, she's at work or whatever. This is pretty, it's called In the Time Zone. I know this has nothing to do with what I'm saying, but it is time zone. kind of interesting time. With him, it's more like periods of time. But anyway, it's pink. So it was a challenging day. It's like, it started out good. I was like on a positive roll for my business. I had some plans. I was ready to go. I had some things I wanted to film. And then it turned into kind of a family crisis thing of like and kind of like the realization of, does this mean he's not going to know who I am? Are we hitting that point where every time I go visit, I'll have to tell him who I am, or he won't know who I am? Whereas like right now he knows, or has known who I am. So it's kind of a dark thing. But, and then other than that, I went to this little farm stand place that I've gone to most of my life. It's a small, like, local family-owned place, and I got some maple salsa, and I got a different kind of, like, hot pepper. It's not a jalapeno. It's like I don't remember what it's called. I'll let you know later. And I got some dragon fruit and some watermelon and stuff like that. So I'm trying to be healthier. I'm looking forward to this month. I've got a lot of plans this month I'm excited about. And then there's a lot of kind of sad things going on this month as well. There's a funeral I have to go to soon. There's, the stuff that's happening with my dad. So, a lot happening, but kind of a weird day. And so I had started out really positive, and then it kind of got dark, and then, trying to rebound from that when you have a plan and you wake up and you have ADHD and you're full of energy and you're ready to go. You can lose momentum really fast with a message like that. I mean, anyone can, but especially with ADHD, I get sidetracked so easily. It's like, I guess the best way to explain it is if you wanted to go somewhere, but then you couldn't find your keys, or you couldn't find your shoes, or you had to go somewhere. Like, say you had to go buy bread. You had to go buy a loaf of bread, but then you couldn't find your keys. You couldn't find your sunglasses. You had to clean snow off your car. It's like, at the end of it, you're just like, damn it. This is just too much. It's too much. I'm not going. I don't want to go. Forget it. I'll eat something else. Because your resolve just gets chipped away. And like, I feel that a lot for motivation for projects. And so today I was like motivated to do a bunch of projects, and then the text message from her came in, and then there was like some other family stuff that came in that was like, problems that came up with things that are happening later this week. And so, anyway, so I had wanted to paint my nails, so I have done that now while chatting with you guys. So I appreciate that. And this is just a weird little life update about my dad, dementia, maple salsa, and my new nail polish. I love you guys. Thank you for living this life of chaos with me. I will talk to you soon. I hope you're having a better Monday than I am. Take care.